Oh, we are live. I know. You wish I would have already done this. See, wishes are like opinions. Everybody's got a special one, right? And I do. So, anyhow, welcome to Sophia's Emporium today. My name is Suze, and this is the series Live or Live, however you want to think of it, 2019. And this is the first time. Yeah, we're still live. All right, cool. So, like I was saying, every day I'm reporting on the supernatural events that occur here at the Big Yellow House and out in the periphery coming in. So, this really is a global transmission, whether people believe it or not. And we're going to have a lot of fun today. So, maybe some of you expected me to hit last night at midnight. But like I was typing into my description for the video, that I tried to schedule 10 minutes early so I could invite people and open the chat up. Well, where the hell is it? I don't know where it is, Mr. Computer Head. So I just reset it and I didn't say anything. But what we're going to do today is I brought an expert on the show. Many of you know him. His name is Colin Rosati, but he has a lot of information for us on why everybody hates Pisces. So, under the Fair Use Act of 1970 flippin' 6, I do bring this into reference as serious education because I think it's going to help us all get along better. Now, with working with Silly's video, I mean, Colin, Sonny's, whoever, y'all got a million avatars think you're funny, right? I get it. Different personas in the bigger picture, tag it. But anyhow, we're going to work with why everybody hates me, or hates Pisces technically. And then I'm going to add in my commentary. And we're going to work with one visual video to go into explanations. I don't have any of this planned as always. I mean, sometimes I have an outline. I didn't feel like messing with it because really, I just chose to chill out last night, which is my prerogative. And like I was saying in the intro, I have been an independent contractor, which means someone that motivates themselves to get up, wash their ass, go to work, figure out their bills, live their life, do their thing. See, I've been doing that since I was 20 years old, and I'll be 55 next month. So I get to do what I want to do, just like y'all get to do what you want to do. And no one, like Channer knows, should ever make a video just because they feel obligated or their friends and followers won't survive without them. You gotta be fucking kidding me. We all come in alone and we all go out alone, technically. Now, heads up. We're not doing that no more. There's a new boss on the block. And y'all been learning a little about that entity, no matter who you feel it is. So, with that, we should probably get on with the opening of my show. I have to work today, too. I'm servicing clients now. This isn't a joke. I've already been dealing with things today. Went to the bank, paid my charge with my 25% interest that no human being, no slave, should have to pay over $200 of interest. Right? $100 goes to my charge payment. And y'all think this isn't going to affect you. Well, that's like them cows on the slaughter line. Doot, 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 doot. Um, you probably shouldn't believe that, and you probably should listen up. But, like I said, I've got a professional for you, which is way better than me. All right. Get my screens in order. My panties aren't in a bunch, so we should be able to start.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the sunny side. I'm Sunny, and today I'm going to tell you guys what everyone, except me because you know I love everybody, hates Pisces. And truthfully, it's really not that difficult to do. Okay, first things first, I created a Patreon account and a PayPal donation button.
Oh, we're going to talk about Patreon today. Good, tag it.
Every little bit helps, and of course, I super appreciate all of it, and in the truest sense, really wouldn't be here without all of you. And of course, if you have any questions or comments, leave them on the weekend love horoscopes so that everyone on the Sunnyside community here has a chance to respond and give their 2 cents, because really, it's a community here and everyone has a lot to offer, and I have a bit to learn from all of you as well.
Yes, you do, Colin.
So you guys know the action already. There are a bunch of websites that are putting these things up, and a whole bunch of...
Why is everybody talking about it?
Astrology videos are coming up with some of these kind of listings. So I'm just going to give my 2 cents on them. And there's some good ones, some bad ones. And I'm pretty sure we can all guess why most people would say that they hate Pisces.
No, we don't. We don't. Why?
So this is from the mindsjournal.com. And they say, yeah, it's right here. The Pisces, why everyone hates Pisces. They're never on time. They're spaced out. Pisces have no concept of time, and subsequently they end up making people wait a lot, which gets really tiring really fast. They always seem half asleep because they're always lost in their own world, and when you interrupt their daydreams, they come crashing back to reality.
This is how Elvis flips you off. Everybody learn.
Really, because
when he comes back, this is what you do. Not to him.
Or how about like Libra's late because like they didn't even show up. All right, they phone though. Libra would phone. All right.
Who does your hair?
Aries is so early. They left early before you showed up. It happens so often. All right. Or how about like Cancer's late because like, well, you know, I wasn't sure. Or you know, we have something. Or like how about nobody hates Pisces because they're late. And to be quite honest, Pisces isn't often. Pisces really isn't that late.
They are right on time.
Pisces is kind of an on-time sign. All right. What don't they say? All right. They say Pisces seems half asleep because they're always lost in their own world. All right. These are all myths about Pisces.
Fucking right, they're myths.
Is a seriously romantic dreamer. And that, okay, that's a really good thing. They're one of our most romantic signs. And it goes, you know, when that gets a little too far, that's one of the reasons why people dislike Pisces. Okay? It's not because they're dreamers. You guys think dreaming is a bad idea? You guys think Einstein would have created all his shit if he, like, wasn't able to dream? You think Aquarius,
what?
You think Aquarius can come up with a brilliant insight without the ability to connect unseen dots? You know, this is a beautiful thing. Do you think Cancer would be have their super intuitive, super psychic abilities if they weren't able to envision to see things intuitively and to feel things as like other people see them? You know, like, this is a really good thing. All right, so that's nonsense. Pisces is not half asleep all the time, and they are not lost in their own world. Yeah, I'm gonna say it again, and you guys know, I know you guys don't want to hear it, but yeah, Pisces does rage against sobriety. All of the water signs have addictive tendencies. You know, all of the water signs can get lost in drugs and alcohol, and they do.
Wait, excuse you. We are excessive. We are passionate. And as far as I go, see, I talk about addictions, Mr. Rosati, and that's why I was supposed to be your holistic stylist. I didn't know why you were being mean to me. This was our first meeting so long ago. Do you remember, sweetheart? Now, if we go down to the comments, this was 10 months ago, so anybody that thinks I'm full of shit, here again, blow me sideways, which means I push your comments off of the table. So, 10 months ago, I was minding my own business. I'm serious. And Mr. Computer Head threw fucking silly up in front of me. And I've always wanted to know why everybody hates me. Because I know that there's a lot of people that love me too. It's just like I'm excessive. People have extreme reactions to encountering me. It's always been that way. But all I can say to all my extreme friends and clients over the years is remember, I was always the bitch that was open to it and welcomed you. So I get that turnabout isn't a comprehensible factor on the playing board right now because everybody's trying to figure out how they're going to handle their thoughts. So I allow for people to catch up. All right, here's what I said 10 months ago. This is all I said now. I have always resonated with Scorpio energy. Supposedly Silly's a Scorpio, but he's not. And Pisces loves big shiny love. Had many a companion love me so much it rots into hate. And yes, I'm always telling friends and clients about homeopathy and all the natural ways of getting the job done. Sending you appreciation and love to my new sassy friend. And I gave him my birthday, the pain in my ass. 2/25/64. Here again, a bunch of ding-dongs would think I doxed myself, but maybe this is part of the reason why we got Team Pisces out there winning. So, to all my new friends, the tarot readers, and astrologers, I think y'all are doing a fine-ass job on this disclosure. And I also think it's funny because some of you are in and some of you aren't, and you're trying to figure out what's going on, kind of like the alternative community. So it's very synchronistic. But in the meantime, we're just going to take a quick little hop, skip, and jump right over to here. And I'm going to talk about it just a little bit more. So this is the magic stone. Now, a lot of people don't believe it's an important meteorite or would generate a power center, but that's okay. There's more elements crammed in this meteorite than even the best rock. They study rocks. They're not into crystals. These people are science. They've never seen anything like it. Plus, it keeps growing, but nobody wants to talk about it. And hey, there's those data collection ships that I can't talk about or things start spinning around. Fifth world knows. Yes, I have a PhD from the ding-dong hairdressers, fake asses. It's kind of like being accepted in the community. Just my opinion. I showed the girls my earrings at the bank today. I said, you bitches need to get over to the big yellow house and hook up on some feathers. They said, we'll come right over, Suze. You guys know the scarab is a symbol of everlasting life and rejuvenation. And it just popped up on my incense burner in 2007 when I moved to the belly of the beast. The old home of all bad spell cast in Ferguson, Missouri. I stood that shit right on their heads and inverted it. Fuck them if they can't take a joke. All right. And it's really not a joke. I knew when we came here that we were in for one last battle. And that's the truth, whether you want to believe it or not. Now, where did my music go? Oh, let's talk about this real quick. I had a jackass come give me trouble the other day because I said, hey, I am digging this in 2019. Now, I never, ever, ever listened to this album. And the song, the original song that everybody sang about, who in the hell do you think you are? I never even liked that song. Now, if you go to random OM Banana Guy, you will find the original London concept recording, the full album of Jesus Christ Superstar. And it was from 1970. And what I thought interesting about that is that was the year that some people would say my life came to an end, and other people would tag it to the medical experiments because that's the year that I was burned and I lost some track of time. I mean, it's a little traumatic having your own mother dump boiling water on you and then have all your friends tell you it must have been your fault and you must have bumped into her. No, I didn't. I remember the whole thing. Right. So deal with that when you're talking about why everybody hates Suze. Is what it is. Now, what I said was 2019. And then some jackass comes in and says, nobody's listening to this in 2000. Oh, here. Okay, so Michelle wants to know 9 months ago, is anybody listening in 2018? And they get 186 thumbs up, 45 replies. And the minute that I came in and said, yeah, I'm listening to it in 2019, here I am. Then some fucking douchebag shill troll avatar with no scruples or entertainment value in his YouTube channel comes and tells me, blow me sideways. You'd think that fake people would have better things to do, wouldn't you? I guess they don't know Mr. Computer Head's gonna crush them like a grape. It's alright, they'll be juicy. Okay. Let's get back to it. Go ahead. I love you, Colin. You're like my kooky cousin or some shit. I don't know who you are.
If you have a Pisces, you gotta keep her away from that kind of stuff because she's gonna drink all the wine in the house and she's gonna be really loving it.
I was a puker.
You guys are gonna have a jiggy fun time. Nobody gonna remember it. You guys are gonna have a lot of fun. Alright. So keep that in mind. That's an important thing. But obviously nobody hates Pisces because they like to hit the bottle.
Hey, Sonny. 3 French martinis and I was puking in the toilet. I have asked you before, which one of you is going to hold my hair when somebody shoves a cocktail down my throat? Oh yeah, my liver's clean as a newborn baby. You don't even want to know. I'll tell you the story sometime, maybe today.
Pisces is the biggest flake of the zodiac. They're the least likely to lock in and stay locked.
Oh, that'd be the unevolved aspect of
They're
Pisces.
the most
Delusions,
shiny objects.
nightmares,
But
things that go bump in the night,
not every other sign.
double secret lives, fucking liars. Oh, that's not me.
Consistently enough, you will attract your Pisces.
I dealt with that when I was a kid, and I kept dealing with it the whole way up.
And a lot of people get upset at some of the signs. They get upset at Pisces for hitting the flake because
I will fuck you up.
And Pisces hits the amps great for a brighter target.
Where's Tempe?
I don't think that's Pisces.
Where's your stuffed animals?
Just because you don't shine very brightly doesn't mean that you should get mad at hot little Pisces for hitting the boogie. She's a curious sign. Pisces is attracted to things.
Where's the earring in your head? I don't even see the earring in your head in this video.
By the way, Libra is attracted to interesting things. Libra is cerebral. Pisces is intellectual and emotional. So they swim up to the shiny thing. They're like, oh man, that's shiny. Brain, let's go. And then they get to it. As they approach it, the Pisces is submerged in the water. They're immersed in this energy at all times. And as they approach it, they start to feel the vibe. And if they like what they're feeling, they're gonna get closer and they're gonna get closer and they're gonna check it out. So Pisces uses their brains, they use their psychic vision, and they use their intuitive feelings. And that's what it is. And if you can't resonate with all that jiggy cool, then you're on the out, my friend. You should not get mad at your twin fish because you do not shine on every single level.
Is that why you don't like me?
Of the zodiac. If you
I mean, your skin is way shinier than mine.
You gotta bring heavy game. And I'm not talking like...
Oh, I got your game.
Number one, I'm not talking about button heads with Aries. I'm not talking about snuggling in with Cancer. I'm not talking about being shiny and pride with Leo. I'm not talking about being interesting for Aquarius. I'm talking about you got to bring 12 houses of hard game to keep that Pisces. It's that difficult. They say Pisces is the most elusive sign of the zodiac. They say Pisces is the
Oh, you
hardest
want
sign to nail
elusive?
down.
We're
They
going to
say
go to our
Pisces is the
next
most
video.
misunderstood sign. They say Pisces is blah. They say Pisces is blah. They say Pisces is blah. But all it means is they are the most complete sign of the zodiac. And
Thank you very much. I rest my case. You know I represent myself pro se in this court from hell, right? I told y'all. I knew I was coming here to be crucified when I came online. You know what else is weird? I mean, think about this. The video we're going to watch, if you open your mind to it and you don't poo-poo it off, what we're going to discuss after we really look into this twisted video would be this concept that we've already been kicking around here, is that theoretically we must die to the illusion of the world and ourselves and this system, and then we're actually alive. Now, we've also heard people like Chanter say over a year and a half ago that he already knew he was dead. I mean, people really do know. You could be young and at the height of your grandness, and everybody'd be swearing you were alive. But you'd be sitting there inside your head going, you bitches don't get it. I feel dead inside. I don't feel love. I don't feel hope. See, that's really where a lot of the people that are alive, that's where they're at mentally. And here again, I never came to judge any of this. I loved a mother that I knew was mentally ill because I chose to love her. Because if I wouldn't have loved her, I would have been hating myself. Okay? Whether or not it's a true mother, whether or not she didn't fulfill her mission, she's like any loser. She tried. Now me, well, see, they said I never had any free will to begin with, even though everybody thinks I do whatever the hell I want. This is all fate and destiny. I just didn't swim against it. I never have, or I wouldn't be alive. We talked about that on one of the other shows. You know, whether you choose to go with the flow and swim, like swim downriver. You get to float a little bit. You might get your ass scratched on a rapid or two. There might be a really deep place with a funnel that'd suck you in if you didn't get out of the way or do something. But see, when you fight your destiny or your fate, and you don't really know who you are, and even if you do, you're scared to live it out loud because somebody will fucking troll you or give you a death threat. The fucking people that are giving you death threats are the dead. They're not the living. These are the boogie boogie ghosts. And that's one of the things I did come to figure out. Okay. So, let me jump over and leave Blondie and go to my Facebook. Oh, wow. We'll talk about that. Okay. Here we go. And let's blow this image up. Okay. So, I know people are going to say, hey, there's a kook born every day. But remember, many geniuses were considered crazy. And so now we're talking about my friend Skutnik Michael, SKMI, been on this research action since pimpin' been pimpin'. But to really analyze this picture, Hey, somebody just left me at 121. Son of a gun. How sad. I sure do hope my picture doesn't freeze up. Let's just make sure everybody knows it's still working right now. Okay, so first thing you gotta ask is who's the fat ass with the red face in the left-hand corner, right? And then you say, well, this looks like Trump. And then over here, we got the King's Aloha outfit on. And you know the satellite concert tour, like I've already shared with you guys. That was when they really started working with biometrics. I've been studying this stuff, wanting to share with my friends so you guys don't have nervous breakdowns when they show you false images. I can tell the difference one from the other. Number 2 just left again at 123. Went out, came in, went out. Now look, number 2, if you fuck with my groove or my screen, oh, there goes the other one. So now, maybe the first one's went to go chase the second one because the first one was here first and gave me the thumbs up. I'm done being dicked with by dead ghosts. I'm telling you, you better live like a spirit, like they talk about in Bulworth. Alright, so anyhow, here we've got this bald dude, and he's got the Elvis lips, see? And he's got the Elvis eye. So what they did is they put Elvis's facial features right into this Trump mobile, but they say Elvis is bald, and I call bullshit. I don't believe Elvis is bald. But here's what I said when I saw this. I said, I will do my best to bring you my impression behind the warped images and how it relates to the situation we're all suffering in. And I said, note to self, live stream on YouTube at Sophia's Emporium will celebrate winning over the copyright algorithm from hell. Did I tell you guys I did that? And I'm so proud. And I want to share it with you guys so you can protect yourself. Okay. But I did. I won. Do. Okay. So, let's get out of this image. That's funny. This is a screenshot from a video, where we're seeing that, you know, Harrison Ford running in the temple and, you know, the ball coming to chase him. But I said, whatever number you intuitively decipher over 44 is Coolio. Okay, so the other night on a live stream recently, they were asking how many viewers were in the room. And I was just talking. The King of America at New Thor. Hey, I like Thor. He's one of my buddies. Oh my God, he was crying for attention the other day. Thor News. And like I told y'all, if you know any single females that look like Taylor Swift but are my age, he would like to take someone out on a date and have a female companion. He's kind of a big whoop-de-doo, although he acts like he needs people to pay his rent. Sometimes he pretends he's really drunk, and I don't know if he is or not. What I do know about Thor News, just to give you the gossip on everybody, because it's spinning out of control. See, these are all these people's, you know how like when you watch a movie and they say the role of Yakety Squack was played by this one, and this was their personality in the role. This is what you're getting from all of these YouTubers. I mean, in this little circle, which is a very small circle within a spirograph of multiple circles. Thor, believe it or not, did the professional editing footage for a group of lawyers. And so, of course, you know, I'm thinking to myself, smiling, saying, well, you'll be perfect to edit Channer's lawyer bullshit. And I was just making a joke. Channer's got his own Goonies editing his stuff. Thor has no time. He wants a beautiful woman not a man with man boobs. Okay, so in this one, what this is all about is stealing all the money, see? So here's how it went down, the best that I've got the gossip so far. Some people like this fat boy. What a pain in the ass he was the other night, giving me a hard way to go, talking about the Lord of Lions. Oh, you guys don't know who the Lord of Lions? Oh. Well, anyhow, it was the ruling court and jurisdiction in Scotland, the Highlanders. And somehow, that fucked up church came along and had some kind of spell casting, karate chopping, fucking Borg bullshit thing happen. I don't know. And then all of a sudden, nobody gave a rat's ass about Scotland. And then in the meantime, the power, this this Pope goes do 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 do, and he takes all the power. Well, the next thing you know, they're taking over actual power centers, and that's why a lot of these shills are very unhappy about the mud fossil information. Because if you believe that a national monument is way older than what they tell you it is, and then you look below the surface of the monument and you find that there was another surface, and you investigate a little more and you start wondering about those points on the top of the building and what their real purpose was. Kind of like the pyramid. Fucking blow me sideways. They weren't putting dead people in it. They were generating energy centers. Now, that's not to say they didn't sacrifice a few kids to run that quantum supercomputer, so don't nobody get it twisted. And these are all completely my own thoughts. I don't have to go to Joe from the Carolinas or some fucking buddy, to ask what's going on. I'm telling you guys what's going on. They've all been found to be full of shit. I dare anybody to find me full of shit, because the cosmic court says I am not full of shit. So, if dead people are telling me I'm stupid, what the fuck do I care? Now, one more thing. If every family in the globe, even the families you think are bad, had their wealth stolen by the Antichrist. Oh, wait. Did I just say that? Right. See, the Antichrist isn't going to come in the clouds in a GIF. I mean, that's where you really got to take a pain medication, right? The Antichrist has had control of this place ever since pimpin' been pimpin'. And Joe, believe it or not, even as a kid, was asking the big questions about spirituality, religion, and politics, no doubt. Was kicked out of the Catholic box in 5th grade. Already beaten to a bloody pulp by his father, but don't worry about that. And remember, hey, this is new gossip. I didn't even really comprehend this until this morning. So, Joseph Panoski, Joe's dad, was moved to St. Louis to be part of an illustrious group that picked out, get ready for this, the actual fucking location of the world headquarters of Monsanto. Now, see, my dumbass, because in 1970, I was in a burn unit. I had no memory, okay? So, what do you want? Papa Doc? Better fucking knock it off. So, Joe's dad is flown to St. Louis, and they decide on the world headquarters of Monsanto, which would be Monsatan, which would be Slash Bear, which would be medical experiments, which would be mind control, which would be MK Ultra. So you better go like this. Cross yourself or something. But, Joe actually went to this Mr. Queenie's house. And so, if you live in St. Louis or know anything about big action, there's a park here called Queenie Park, named after Mr. Queenie. And Mr. Queenie, Joe says, was a wonderful man, and he was a man of few words. And he was a compassionate man that truly did want to find a way to feed the masses. Now, Joe's dad comes in, does the boogie boogie, plays a few rounds of golf, breaks his kid's arm or something, has a few cocktails, flies around the motherfucking world and sells us out. So if you think I'm a devil because my mom couldn't love me, then you better know Joe Scott is a fucking devil because his dad is the devil. So have some of that, you judgers. And who is the Sanhedrin? They can blow me fucking sideways. I mean, we were talking about the Pharisees and the Sadducees, but I guess what I think is the Sanhedrin was like an actual location. Like, let's say you're having those, those secret, court things going on behind the scenes. You're at a fucking underground military base or some shit. Well, maybe the Sanhedrin was a group of judges that met in certain locations. And see, that way, they could kill enough people that even though you got Jesus and a couple other dudes allegedly bleeding out on a cross on a hill, these motherfuckers had a wall. And I don't know if it was every 60 feet or every 600 feet. We have some number play today. They had someone being crucified. Now here's what I think about the fucking wall. You ready for me to talk now? I just watched a 3.5-minute video on Trump talking about the wall. Now, whether it is 8 million or 8 billion, you should probably go watch it yourself. Don't hold me accountable. But that's how much it's going to cost to build the wall. So I guess it's 8 billion. What do I know? And what he's saying is he's going to build it out of steel, American steel, yakety squack. And I said to Joe, because Joe's a very, very technical, intelligent carpenter and craftsman and works with his hands and his mind. So no matter what you think's going on behind the scenes with me and Joe and this invisible man which makes the third party, don't you all worry about it. I haven't lied to neither of these men. And maybe what that's all about is first you got to learn how to love a human if you're on the way to learning how to love the divine. And this divine, don't tell me he's jealous. I mean, is this Judas and Jesus and Mary? What the fuck's going on? Oh, we don't want to talk about that, though. It's okay. Well, anyhow, back to all this horse shit. Because I am running now, aren't I? I didn't even know. I wait for the day that they bring Joseph Panoski to the stand. You hear me? Because this is another person that is no different. See, this is a strong-ass bloodline. And now you're going back to the difference between Russian Orthodox versus Roman Catholic. I think that's where we're at in the battle. And so Joe has a lot of insight. And, thinking like geographically, Russia has like 12 time zones. And then they can watch the sun go across this whole continent, and we think it's this big on a map. I'm telling you, I think the reason why we're having all of these natural disasters is because these fucking demon pope fucks back in the day like shit all over these energy centers. And of course, they turned them into churches and colleges and government buildings. Hey, wait, is that how overnight they became wealthy? Because there wasn't the bank of bullshit back then, was there? I mean, were they painting money on banana leaves? Do you see what I mean? If you think these people were cavemen, well, how did the cavemen take over a sovereign court of Highlanders that were noble and just? The only thing I can think is if you kill a saint and you bury him under the church when you're doing your spell casting and go boogie, 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 well, then it'll break that energy center. Here again, just the thoughts of an intuitive, redheaded psychic bitch. Yeah, this is Thor's stream. And I wanted to ask Thor why he chose this image, because to me, I think I already know, don't I? This image. Oh, my screens froze. They got me. We got 3 viewers. I looked down for a minute, and I noticed my screen is frozen, you bunch of bitches. Yep, we're talking heavy shit. Surely I can't control my own screen. But see, over here in Sue's world, I actually can see what's going on, believe it or not. So I can just use my screen for reference, and I hope you guys aren't too bored. So while I was at the Thor channel or somewhere, wherever I'm going, this Vinny C bitch starts bugging me, and of course he's got 0 subscribers. Oh, I know where I'm at. I'm at my friend, the Fifth World's channel, and she's given this lovely presentation, and this fucking Vinny starts hitting on her like he's gonna get some strange. And so that's what this is about. And what he says to her first is, oh no, more footage? Well, you know what, Vinny? If you don't like her footage, get the fuck off her channel. Unless you're there to bother her. I mean, like, I go to Channer's channel because I'm getting evidence. I've done told y'all. If I go to Flow Destroyer's channel, I'm going in service to that community and giving them intel. I don't just sit around. Oh no, I work. So, in this one, fucking Vinny says, okay, so don't do a walkthrough of your new apartment, LOL. Never do that, there's creepers out here. And then, the sick son of a bitch goes another step further to say there will be like 19 dudes breathing on your window. Hey, Fifth World, let me tell you something. And I've been telling everybody this. All right, first things first. Don't give up your weapons. Because if all the bad guys get to have the weapons, and we're not allowed to defend ourselves, and robots are running the world, well, you can see where this is all going. In the meantime, here's my suggestion for taking care of yourself. Whether you have a gun, or a knife, or a stick, or a sword, or just a really bad attitude, you have to allow the enemy to enter your home. Once the enemy enters your home, now you better turn your live stream camera on, right? So you're gonna film it. You let the stranger in. You've got your camera rolling, but it's hidden. Kind of like I did to Mel. Even though I had paid her so legally I could tape that. And in Missouri, one person can tape without having to ask the other one. Good thing about a divided state. So, anyhow, when that stranger comes in and proceeds to attack your happy ass, you knock him the fuck out with your weapon of choice. Now, you're doing this while the film's rolling, remember? Okay, then you tie him up, right? Use whatever you want. It could be decorative, it could be serious, you could put caution tape, I could care less. And you got to put something in their mouth so they shut the fuck up when you're talking to them, right? And then they are thrown outside. If they're nice, they can walk down the steps their own self. If they're a jerk, they're going to get kicked and they will roll down the steps. At this point, they'll be laying out in the yard. And the best way to stop trouble has always been to embarrass the assholes. And that's kind of what Team Righteous is now doing to all these fucks, whether it was of their own acknowledgement or not, were used in a dirty, rotten game. Still not too late to turn around. Do you see what I mean? This is all about getting the word out as quick as possible. So, he got anything else to say? Vinny wants to know what happened. Well, see, somebody was trying to compromise her stream. Kind of like right now, you got the frozen picture Suze with the gold. Now, I didn't take the gold. You know what I mean? But, like, say, with the Glasscock land patent, that would have enabled every one of you people, every one of you, to go out and stake your claim in front of your home. And that way, when martial law came, they wouldn't be able to take your house or your lawn or your grass or your trees. Do you see what I'm saying? World War III is going off around you, but your Buddha sitting under a tree. That's what the Land Patent Act was for. And back to the Land Patent Act. Every bit of the Glasscock castles and land that was along the river over there in North Carolina, any kind of institutions, all of it, they were all taken. So, if somebody has a plan that's been going on since time began, because they stopped time when they went from BC to AD, and I have been doing my diligent best to try to encourage Joe to come share his voice with you guys, because you're going to like him way better than me. He's a Libra. Everybody loves Joe. You know, he's got a beautiful smile. I mean, he's going to give it to you from a guy's perspective. I can talk all day about blood type, but people say I'm full of shit and it's not worth talking about. When Joe comes on and he talks to you about how your blood is kind of like your oil in your car and how different weights support different engines, well, then everybody's ears are going to perk up. So, Joe is going to start his journey on YouTube with y'all, talking about his journey through Catholicism and the questions he asked along the way, and the journey that always kept his faith intact, all the way up to the words we had over the weekend, which were big. Number one already knows. See, because there are no secrets from source. And if number one's source, and if y'all are source, can you see why, like, if your source is all fucked up and doesn't have the right motor oil, that you might look like an old fat dude or a bald dude? But everybody's putting themselves in the image of number one, who is represented through the appearance of who you know to be Elvis Presley, who never really was Elvis. He was Elvi. Tag it! Kind of like me. You might just think I'm a normal girl, but oh no, 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 no. I'm not. And people are tripping. And they're coming in to visit, and that's what happened this weekend. So, you know, all I can do is say, you're walking in my shoes. So if you kick me, I promise you're going to be kicking you, and it's going to suck, because it's going to hurt twice as bad. I don't feel too much pain. They've worked with me. Even though I'm emotional and feeling and empathic, I have control over myself now. And I had gradually been doing it ever since I was a little kid. But I hit some kind of new landmark. Now, it's not just me. It's everybody. It's not just Sue's. But in my case, it is my Saturn return. And they say that it's very important that you enter back in doing what you did the last return. And you guys will figure out very simply and quickly what that was. And then we can all move on. Um, Anything else from Vinny? What happened? Oh yeah, Vinny. You better leave her alone. I'll be watching. And Fifth World would like you guys to check out a channel which, I mean, I found interesting, but these are younger people. So keep in mind as you go visit people, have some respect for life charting. And if you're dealing with a younger individual, don't belittle them. And if you're dealing with someone that's older, don't disrespect them. Age is nothing but a number. Okay. I'm done with these pictures. Not that you guys care, because you can't see them. Alright. We're going to go back to Sonny. And he's going to tell you more about why everybody hates me.
To hold the interest of a Pisces, you have to have complete and extremely tight, very, very big game. One of the final cards in the tarot is the World. And now the World does not represent Pisces, all right? The Moon represents Pisces in the tarot, and that's a different kind of thing altogether. But the World is completion, and it's the end of the story, and the entire world is your oyster, so to speak. And that is what Pisces is attracted to. You have to be shiny, you have to be complete, and one more thing, all right?
I don't eat anything with eyes.
And this is what pisses everybody off about
What?
Pisces.
What?
More than any other sign.
What?
Pisces supports the underdog.
You damn well better
right?
believe it.
Pisces is everything, right? They're mutable, they're changeable. So try and tie them down. You can't like, grab them.
Hey, wait. See, that's how I got in trouble. Coming online, speaking, trying to help people and sharing information. So you're right. And you know what? People always hated that about me as a hairdresser too, Sonny. But they loved it if I was talking about their hair. Now, if I'm talking about anything else, well, see, I needed to go to college and pay some money before I talked to them about it, because they went to college and partied and ran wild while I was growing up and running a business. So, I get it, but go ahead.
Stupid are you? You gotta like, okay? Don't try and grab your fish. Shine, and the fish will come to you. Okay, you guys got that? This is like, you should know this. All right, but here's the thing. What attracts Pisces? Pisces is, okay, so Pisces, everybody should know. Pisces is one of the most spiritual signs, you know? They were originally ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter is spirituality, okay? Sagittarius and Pisces are most spiritual signs, okay?
Yep.
And Pisces romantic, Pisces is spiritual. So Pisces has it inside, you know? Pisces is one of the biggest natural healers of the zodiac, and more than any other sign.
Oh, people
Pisces
hate that.
Wants to help you get from the moon, from the darkness to the complete wheel of fortune in the tarot. That's how it works. Pisces is the, okay? Aquarius, the way out of the darkness, okay? Then we go to Pisces, which wants to, if you don't make it out of Pisces, Aquarius shows us the way. Pisces grabs you and brings you forward into the 12th house of completion.
I'll grab you.
That's what they want to do. That's what they're here for, okay? Pisces heals you. That's what they do, okay? So again, they want to take you from the darkness of the moon to the completion of the wheel of fortune. And so as a result, Pisces super supports the underdog. Pisces super nurturing, but not Cancer nurturing. That's different. Cancer is like super nurturing. Pisces is super healing. They help people. They like
Cancer is about the home.
Pisces does not like losers. You know,
Am I Susie
a lot of sites
Homemaker?
like losers.
Am I
Okay,
Susie
Pisces
Hairdresser?
does
Who the
not
fuck
want
am
a
I?
loser. They want a
Well, I'm
superhero.
who you say
No
I
matter what.
am.
Not everybody can make it to the Wheel of Fortune. Not everybody can make it to the 12
I'll
houses of the
only
Zodiac.
homemake
Not
for you if
everybody's
I
gonna
love you.
survive this journey.
And I'll
So,
only do
you know,
business with
not
you
everybody's
if I
gonna make
respect
it.
you.
But if you can, if you've got gas, Pisces is gonna help you. And this is where things go astray. This is
You better
the
bring
problem.
some supplements, silly.
In astrology, everybody knows this. If you have something like, say, you have Mars in Pisces, you are one dogmatic person. You always think you're right. You always think you know the way. You always think blah 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 blah. This is the way it is.
But wait, what if it's experience? Now wait, you're stepping out of bounds. What if it's from actual real life experience that you've experienced yourself? Oh, it doesn't matter? You're right.
You know how Libra goes like, right? If you do something like that, or Cancer goes, right? Or
I
like
can't believe I can't use my screen.
If you do anything silly like that, Pisces is gone. Pisces will not debate you.
Nope.
Pisces will not question
Nope.
anything. Pisces
All right,
is
let's
here
stop.
to hire.
Okay, so say Channelot. You know what I mean? He told you all this story that he kicked me out. Oh, hell no. I was the one that refused to ever engage him on his playing field ever, 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 ever again. It's why I will not go into a Google Hangout that someone else is operating, especially when it's compromised. No, I'm not going to a private Discord room where y'all got naked body parts. Fuck you guys. I'm staying right out here in the open and saying what I want, when I want, how I want. Because we know there's major censorship everywhere. So either they're going to get me and nail me to a cross, or we're all going to knock this shit off and come together. I'm sick of everybody dying. And this bullshit about, you know, dying for somebody's sins before they're born. What kind of stupid is that? I mean, really. You better die to your own sins so you can live forever. Like a Highlander. Alright. And I wish you would let me do your hair, Sonny. My God, it's a mess. And Sonny does his own hair color. And see, that's how most people's mentality are. They'll just go to the grocery store and get a box and dump it on their head. Well, there's a lot more to any trade than just mixing up a bunch of stuff you don't know what is and making a chemical reaction. So you better tag alchemy, because it is exactly the same on a simpler level. I mean hairdressing, not alchemy. But, you know, a lot of people think they can cut their own hair. A lot of people like to go to Supercuts or Great Clips because it's only 15 minutes. I have never done a 15-minute haircut in my life. Not because I can't. Because it is disrespectful.
Calling. Why are you going to listen to your idiot ass when Pisces is hearing voices and listening to them? And double why are they listening?
I'm not
to
hearing
you?
voices.
They
Just
think
my
they're
own.
here to help you. And by my friends, Pisces are here to help you. If you see a Pisces, if a Pisces swims up to you, and it means you are one shiny person.
It means don't
and you're
drown
down
them.
on your luck. You've seen it over and over and over and over again. And so Pisces is trying to help you, right? Don't throw too many stones at
You
them,
did.
because, you know,
You
they're
did.
like a healing
You
sign,
did that very
and they
thing to
see
me.
trauma that you might not see. Now, this is where things get freaking annoying.
That's how he got me stuck on his show. Because it kept me interested, and I kept going back
Sometimes in your journey,
to find
you
out
have to
what the
walk
hell
out
is
and
up with
bleed a
this
little
guy.
so that you can get to where you gotta go. Sometimes you have to have a little bit of this, and you gotta jar some action.
I'll give you a little
make
of
something
this.
happen. You know, not everything in astrology is a trine. And I just watched this website which is going like to all these relationship things, and they're all trines. Trine is flowing energy. Okay? That
Okay.
doesn't do anything in astrology. Squares, action, motivation, you know?
Right.
Sometimes it's not good. All right. Sir, when the
Now, I do gotta tag that. What motivated me were squares throughout my life. So, Colin is correct. Um, I'll give you a great example. When I began my journey as a professional hairdresser, the first person that ever interviewed me, even though I was at the top of my class, said, well, he said, "What's your name?" And I said, "Susie Glasscock." And he said, "Glasscock? If you ever wanted to work here, you'd have to change your name." And he was serious. It was not a joke. That is power and control. From a little greasy Italian fuck by the name of Vittorio Gramolino? And he's gonna give me shit about my name? I mean, how did he even know how to spell his name when he was a kid? They'd have to give him a play-by-play book. What's his fucking baptism name? Good Lord. Well, anyhow, Vittorio Gramolino is no longer here on the planet with us, but he is the reason why Dopey the Turnip forced me into taking a second salon so I could work 7 days a week and bear him 2 children. Oh yeah, I took my kids to work with me, pumped milk from a breast pump when I was too busy to nurse. Yeah, fuck you guys. I've done it all. So, anyhow, I do really care about people. I am here to help. All my information has been pilfered and mocked and stolen. And I'm still not bringing my claws out. You haven't seen my claws yet. This is just me defending myself like I always have. So back to these squares. If you tell me that I am not good enough to work for you, and then I go to a bitch with big boobs and dark hair that thinks she's hot shit, and do the best haircut she's seen in months, and she rejects me because my boobs aren't big enough, well, now we got another problem, don't we? Then I went and worked for a fucking cokehead that stole my money. Hey, that's a pretty big problem, too. Then I went and worked for some fucking old lady that was in love with a gay guy that didn't know he was gay, and they stole our money. And I said, fuck this. I'm opening a salon. They threw us out at Thanksgiving. I retained my clientele through the holiday season, working by where Mike Brown was murdered. And then I opened the Hair Emporium January 5th, 1985, in Hazelwood, Missouri, in an office building. And that's where my journey started. So, if that's not enough square peg action for you, as I'm going through my business years, every time I went to strive to take a step up and do something good, there was always somebody knocking at me. And I did. I used it to propel me higher and higher because I refused to roll over and die to this world. Do you see what I'm saying? I was living sovereign in my mind long before I heard about the truth movement or sovereignty or any of this horse shit. Now, since y'all have met me, especially since 2015, I have died to this world. Oh, and I'm still in this death grip of dying. Even though deep down I know behind the scenes I don't gotta worry about dying, no worries. In the meantime, every day I struggle to pay my bills, and like I said the other night on a comment that is live during a stream, which I am getting comments on, okay? I, honest to God, have not even earned 15 measly motherfucking dollars on this internet when I have a wealth of things that are moral and ethical and right livelihood minded that I can bring you people. But what? I'm not allowed to make a dime while fucking fat ass Chanter And a bunch of other jackasses misuse Patreon, which we do have an article about, and they get pissed off because they're no longer able to prostitute that site because that site is checking out their YouTube channel to find out who they've hired on Patreon. Do you get it? They weren't hired as actors to be given a percentage of their gross on the bullshit they peddle. Let's put it that way. That's not what Patreon is about. And Patreon was compromised, and they have a update. So I will review that update privately before we talk. And today's stream, obviously, is going to be shorter because it pisses me off when somebody steals my screen. It really does. It's baby games. But I love babies. I had 3 of my own. I had 3 grandchildren, and they were babies too. And I even like babies that are older than me. Pain in my asses.
The big planets square each other and they move. Transits in effect, transiting energy. But, we're talking static, we're talking static energy here. Motivation is a different thing. So sometimes when Pisces senses that some kind of thing going on, they're going to, yeah, but it's not right, Pisces. People don't like it. Everybody hates Pisces because Pisces likes to swim up and try and heal people. They're always putting their 2 cents in, and they're always going blah, blah, and blah.
Wait, you mean like telling somebody that they could use iron phosphate or ferrophos mixed with a little bit of elixir water to create a poultice to put on an infection to draw the infection out? Because that's how I've tried to help. Or about giving people paper handouts about their poisons that they don't know about. And those people didn't hate me when I was passing the paper out. When those people hated me is when I said, hey, did you try that yet? And they said, no, I listened to the doctor again. And I said, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Blah, blah, blah. And seriously, very seriously, you need to be told that you're blah, blah, and blah. No, nobody, again, I'll say it, nobody likes to constantly fight in Aries. Who in the hell likes to hear, oh man,
what
I
the
know
fuck
where you
are you
are.
talking
I've
about?
been where you are.
Get on my last damn nerve.
Really? Seriously? I doubt that. Oh, maybe you are a drug Pisces,
No,
maybe
I'm
you
not.
are a drug addict.
No, Sonny.
So I don't
No.
know how you think you know where you. Nobody wants to hear that.
Oh, right. You don't want to hear it because I'm supposed to be one, so I would have been controlled by the box. Well, let's go over the psychological reasons why I choose not to imbibe spirits. My grandmother was a wonderful woman, and she was a functional alcoholic. Now, she could make home. She could bring home the bacon. She could fry it up. She could do all that bullshit. But that woman never had a happy day in her life. When she wasn't working, she was drinking. She was drinking and doing the laundry at the same time, getting her arms stuck in the wringer, things like that. But she loved me, and she stayed by my side. I saw my mother drag her feet down the stairs with her chin going kabangity, bangity, bangity. Because my mom said I shouldn't see her drunk. I shouldn't have seen my mom give me away to demons either. But I saw that. Okay? Now, neither my mom or my dad imbibed spirits. My mom was a walking puppet for these entities, so she didn't need booze. She worked with hate and self-pity and being fat. Because, anybody that wasn't unhappy, she was their best fucking friend because she was unhappy, and that's why her and I were mortal enemies. Because I refused to be unhappy. Well, my dad, what a fucking straight-lace he was. You guys think I'm a dork. Now, my dad would get a bottle of scotch from the cops every year, and he never drank any of it. And my friend Sandy Durbin, who was my best, my first, what you call best friend, she'd always want to hit my dad's bottle. And I mean, she wasn't even a teenager. And this bitch is hitting scotch. You know what I mean? Because she's cool, right? Well, we would water down my dad's scotch after she had her shot, is what happened. Also, let's not forget about moonshine or hooch, because my grandma was from the Depression. And believe it or not, one time my grandma made dandelion wine. And you want to talk about fucking nasty, stinky, yuck. I mean, I wasn't even going to put it to my lips. It made me want to throw up. And Sandy tried that too. So that's why I don't drink. Now, of course, I drank because I love getting a buzz. Everybody does. Like I've told people, we will be healed and perfected to such a state that we will know how to bring ourselves in a state of bliss. And that's really all drugs and alcohol are for. They're tools for opening that gateway to get you to relax enough to be yourself, let's say. All right. So if we can do that without the calories and the destruction to our internal organs, you can see where this is a pretty good deal. And we don't have to be dead anymore. Like I said, I am addicted to smoking. It is a mental addiction. I enjoy the fuck out of it. I like paying $7 for a cigarette and bitching at them and saying, you know what, fuck you, Walgreens. I'm not buying cigarettes here at your store no more because you want my ID to scan? Blow me sideways. So what I do is I drive the other way down the street to a fucking gas station. And the people that work there are cool. And I go in there and buy my smokes. So, I say edibles for everybody. You bring me a mountain of edibles, and maybe I won't have to fire up nothing. But in the meantime, nobody better be judging anybody's addictions. Because if you think quitting something is going to make you healthy when you're dead, then you're dumber than a box of rocks. I'm sorry, they've been messing with us so bad that quitting smoking or starting a new diet tomorrow is not where you need to be. You need to be in your spirituality. You need to be in your temple. And if it's dirty, say, hey man, fuck, I'm sorry it's dirty. I'm going to clean it up a little bit. So you do. And then number one says, hey, at least you're trying, bitch. Why don't we play around? Say, all right. So the next day we clean up a little bit more. We do a little more work. And poof, here comes some kind of crazy miracle. And then it keeps happening and happening and happening. So, like I have gotten through Joe's thick skull, because he's a fence walker. Libras are. They can't help it. They want to balance. Both of my grandmothers were Libras. So don't nobody give me any shit about who I choose to love and how I feel about the world. Because 3 of my closest people were fucking fence sitters, and I'm the bitch that will cross the line. Pisces jumps in, they don't care how deep it is. And that's what I've done. So, fence sitters, I mean, I think that they more are worried about drowning. So they walk that tightrope over the river. I don't know.
But that's what Pisces says. You know, what else? Pisces will not stay in and they will not listen. So the
Nope.
two number one things, and I can harp on and on and on and on about this. All right,
That's because we know the truth.
So that's the
You
action,
be cool.
and I can go on and on and on about it. All of this stuff is definitely true. Definitely true. But so what? Everybody's like that to some degree. But Pisces, the real reason
fucking
everybody
whiny
hates Pisces is 1, they do not listen, and 2, they're always trying to come up and heal you when you're not broken.
Oh, you're not
broken.
broken.
Don't try and fix it, Pisces. What's your problem?
Hey.
You know? Seriously.
If you're not broken, then you better get that shit off your lip.
Pisces, you know how Aries just walks up and tries to start an argument because like that's how they communicate. You know, they do their thing like this, or like some of the other signs do their thing like this. Pisces' thing is to heal you. And the only way they can heal you is by thinking there's something wrong with you.
No.
And that sucks. Nobody wants
I
to hear
can
that
see it.
something's wrong with them. You know, even if something is wrong with them,
Ugh.
nobody wants to hear it all the time.
I don't do
That's
it all the
Pisces'
time.
game.
No,
you
it
know?
isn't.
That's their move.
No,
Okay, so
it's
say
not.
again. Pisces is attracted to shiny and highly complete superheroes who are down on their luck.
Oh,
so
knock
if
it
Pisces
off.
is into you, man, you're a superhero. That is a heavy-duty thing. If Pisces into you, you're probably down on your luck, okay? So like,
Bullshit.
It's very easy to pull a Pisces, whether you realize it or not. You just gotta be a superhero down on your luck.
Oh, you just gotta be
Now,
Dan Soat?
say you're not. Say you're just shiny, right? And you're hanging out and you're being aloof.
Is that why you wear baby oil and Vaseline on your face? On your five head?
They're gonna like, you may not even be down on your luck. You know, you might be super cool. Pisces comes up to you and they're game. Pisces' go-to game is to try and heal you, whether anything's wrong with you or not. And my friends, that's freaking annoying. You know? Holy jeez, that bugs the hell
Fucking
out of
pain
me.
in my asses.
You know? I said, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Straight up. And that, guys, is why everybody hates Pisces. I think Pisces. I'm a Scorpio. I obviously think Pisces is beautiful. Obviously, I like Pisces.
Should I give you the last word?
But like, man, that thing bugs me. All right.
What bugs you?
Sonny, I feel your pain. I've been there. Thanks for coming out.
Oh, blow me
From the
sideways.
Sunnyside, I'm Sonny. Wishing everyone that. Wishing all Pisces the best of the beautiful week. Go buy some Band-Aids and make friends. And I'll see you soon.
Take that earring out of